Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, another Swiss 001 video. Welcome back to the flight simulator, and welcome aboard a very interesting plane, and that is of course the Airbus A318. Yes, the absolute smallest plane of the whole A320 series by Airbus. Maybe even actually the smallest Airbus that there is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's also called the baby bus because, as you can really tell, it is quite a short plane. And let's talk about this one today because it's actually got very interesting features. They can, for example, fly on very short runways. We'll come to that later for sure. But it, you know, has an interesting past as well. Let me just say it's not particularly the most successful plane out there, okay? Okay, now first of all, let's actually check out the cockpit of this plane. As you can see, it is just an A320 cockpit, which makes sense because it's still an A320 series aircraft. It's just a smaller version of the A320, you know what I mean? Yeah, and we've got a different livery now. The thing is, there's just been a new Flight Simulator 2020 update, and that means that all the add-on aircraft break, okay? That's something that always happens. For example, the engines are going crazy right now. We can see, maybe we can take off anyway, right? I'm trying to give full power right here. This is a little weird right here. I don't know why this is not working properly. Okay. All right, let's try to take off anyway. This A318, I was gonna say A320, but no, A318. Put out the flaps a little bit, and we're at a big international airport. Obviously, this shouldn't be too much of an issue for this little Airbus plane, because again, it's, yeah, you know, it's got very good runway performance. Okay, let's go ahead and just take off. There we go. Just out of this runway. There we go. Yeah, this is Frankfurt Airport. As you can see, again, was a totally fine takeoff, obviously. Again, this is a very nicely performing plane, which is why, you know, I've always wanted to make a video about the A318. Now I finally can. I cannot run the engines at full power because that, for some reasons, sets on the reverse thrust, but I can run this at 80% of power, which is plenty. Yeah, doesn't really matter, does it? Now, you know what? Let's just not waste any time flying at long runways or something. Let's fly to places where the A318 is known for being able to fly. Was that grammatically? Yeah. All right, for example, we can go to London City Airport. Yes, in fact, the Airbus A318, the baby bus, is known as being the largest plane to be able to fly into this very interesting airport, which is right here. And yes, there is a reason it's called London City indeed, okay? All right, let's go ahead and land here indeed. Put out the flaps, get everything else ready here. There's much more broken than this, just throttle controls. Actually, we cannot even see how fast we are. Artificial horizon is broken. Pretty much the whole primary flight display is broken. This is a perfectly working plane. You know, after this Microsoft Flight Simulator update, which in Microsoft, you know, fashion, you have to install in order to play the game. Why? Why can't I just choose to not install the game? So dumb. All right, let's go ahead and land. All right, everything else though is ready here. So I'm excited to get this plane landed down here. This is gonna be interesting. Okay, now London City is down here. This airport is known for, you know, having a very steep approach, of course. So only very certified planes are able to land here, like the A318. All right. 140 knots. There's some weird rudder issues coming in. This is actually a very broken aircraft here, this Airbus. Great video, Swiss 001. I know. All right, let's come in for a landing here and try this anyway. All right, really carefully touching down this plane here. Come on. Okay, there we go. Relatively. We stopped, but another place that the Airbus A318 is known for being able to operate at, was that grammatically correct now, is Santos Dumont Airport. Yes, the one in Brazil. I've already made a dedicated video to this one too. Really, a place where you don't want to be landing anything bigger than the A318. There we go. That is the whole deal. Yeah, this is some short runways. They're even shorter than London City here. And oh man, I hate flying this plane. It sucks so much. Like, I have zero control. I mean, that's maybe the fun part. Let me try landing with landing gear this time around, which the landing gear is out now, so I think this will be a more or less a successful landing. But this is nice anyway. Oh no. This will be a more or less a successful landing. All right, very great landing here. Let's go ahead and stop as well, which again should not be a problem at all on this Airbus A318. It's pretty damn crazy. I mean, look, we don't even need half of this runway, which makes me pretty confident about landing this plane somewhere in the Caribbean too. All right, there. For example, we've got St. Bartholomew ahead. Now with like a 600-meter long. This is not gonna work. Yeah, 600-meter long runway. I mean, yeah, I don't know. All right then. Actually, what does work here is the backup instrument, which is actually exactly what the backup instrument is for. You know, if the primary flight display doesn't work, we still have the backup, which actually really does work. That's good. Let me try coming in for a nice landing here. There's some issues with the rudder as well. So when we go left rudder, this happens. But still, about the stopping on the 600-meter long runway itself, I think this will work out fine. No worries at all. Great flying today, am I right? Let's put that landing gear down again. See if we can somewhat land this plane down here. Holy moly. Okay, I can already say this will be a little bit of a tougher, harder landing. Yeah. All right, stop now, please. There we go. Touchdown, a little bit on the harder side, but this is no problem. A318 is not that picky when it comes to runways indeed. There we go. I think we can stop this pretty much anywhere. Really nice plane. So yeah, you can see you can have a lot of A318 fun indeed in a flight simulator, for example, landing on short runways, because it flies to short runways quite well. That's actually no problem, but the A318 isn't that perfect of a plane either. Especially the sales are very low. I mean, there's only been 80 of these aircraft built so far, I think, which is like a very small proportion of the whole A320 series. I mean, there's been like thousands of A320s built, right? Yeah, this plane indeed isn't very successful, and maybe we should take this plane back into the skies too. See, the A318, while it's a very cool plane, and also, as you can see, a very handy plane when it comes to landing on short runways, it isn't particularly very efficient. Or let me just put it in this way: the ERJ jets are better. They carry as many passengers, especially like the E195 or maybe the E175 too, while being a lot more efficient per seat. You know, especially when it comes to fuel efficiency and making money, basically. It is better to just buy the ERJ 190. Oh, help! Can we do somewhat of this? Oh no, this is gonna be crash landing again. Great one. But as you can see, again, the stopping always works fine. But yeah, you know, again, this is this plane is good, but the E190 is better. Which one is cheaper though? A318 costs around 60 million. E190 also costs 60 million. Well, that's interesting. Actually, from the price range, these planes are all pretty much similar. It doesn't really matter. But you know, again, ERJ 190 probably it's just built to be a small jet, and the A318 really is just an A320 but shorter. Now, actually, I want to try one more thing. How about we test the absolute runway performance at Sabah Airport, for example, as well? You know, it's a much shorter runway. Let me just put it that way. All right, now the shortest commercial runway on the planet. How about that? A318. I know this is not gonna work, is it? All right, let's just go and put that landing gear down. Get everything else ready here. And let's just see. Maybe we can do this indeed. Come on, A318. Full concentration now. Oh, wow. Oh! A stop is a stop. That's how the rule goes. And so yeah, guys, that is the A318 today. Very interesting plane. Actually, very nice plane as well. Very safe plane. There's never been an A318 accident, right? Perfect safety rating, but not particularly successful. There is a niche, you know, for example, short runways for this plane. And actually, what I haven't mentioned about this plane just yet is the extremely long range that it has too. You can fly this across the Atlantic, for example. I think Air France does it, or maybe British Airways. Yes, British. They fly from London to New York with only one stop, which is quite crazy to think about. I mean, the question is, would you really want to spend 8 hours on an A318? But that's another story. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, good night. Here on YouTube, like Block, Mubarak, Junk in the Trunk, Rafal, Oman the Human, DJ Straw, Deload, Tyler Park, Ian from Osk, Gurkham, Stefan Schmiedhofer, Moritz Wellhausen, Tuppy Cook, Great Karamba John, No You, Laird Islama, Government Pasta, Calamity Airlines, Kelly Chaos, Philip Terrier, Signs, Maz Kaleg, Rodolfo, New York, Ollie H, Blue Aviation, Cheese Doritos, Shadow.